It's time for another episode of Raising Courageous Leaders by Mr. Bunke Shipalana. That's my dad.
So today, Bonka, very interestingly, the topic is fake news. I immediately started thinking Donald Trump because he was the one that kind of made it a buzz phrase. But I don't understand. What do you mean when you say you want to talk about fake news today?
I think let's first start with defining what fake news is. If you do your research properly, it says that fake news is an inaccurate, sometimes sensationalistic report that is created to gain attention, mislead, deceive, or damage a reputation. But by the way, it's different from misinformation, which is inaccurate because a reporter has confused the facts. Fake news is created with the intent to manipulate someone or something. Fake news can spread quickly when it provides this information that is aligned with the audience point of view, meaning that fake news is not too far from the truth, but it's not the truth. And most of the time, people won't question it because it's so close to what they assume is the truth. But you know that if you're on the N1 and you take one left hand, you'll end up far away from where N1 is going. So fake news is always parallel to the main road or the truth, but will always lead you to a different destination.
But now, every Tuesday, this space is created for self-mastering. So how does that align with fake news exactly?
Most of us had moments where fake news about us were planted in our minds and soul. I'm talking about personal news that is inaccurate, sometimes sensationalized, to mislead, deceive, or damage our potential. The unfortunate thing in my young life, I've realized that most or majority of the fake news planted in our minds and soul have been planted by us, ourselves. Not journalists, not life, not media, not politicians, not the economy, but by ourselves. Most of us have internalized the effect of fear and reconstructed it to be part and parcel of our DNA or character. When we were young at school, a teacher came in and says, "Apelele, please stand up, come to the front and share on this particular topic." And you got scared and people laughed at you. And you sat down and cried. And then you said to yourself, "I am not a good public speaker." You started a business and after 3-4 months the business failed and you internalize the effect and you said you are not a business person. You applied for a job that you thought you were good at and you thought you qualified and you thought you were a better candidate and you were not selected. And you internalize that life doesn't support you. You'll never go beyond where you are. And for me, that is fake news. We tend to use our fear or our experience and internalize it to a point where it becomes fake news. As I said in my introduction, once you plant fake news in your life, it might be parallel to the truth. Were you scared? Yes. Did your business fail? Yes. Did you not get the job? Yes. But now you're taking an off-ramp that is going to lead you far away from the truth when it comes to the destination. At that particular moment, what's happening in your life, in you, yes, it's not positive. Yes, there is fear. Yes, you have failed. But that should not be who you are. That is fake news. It's there to mislead you. It's there to deceive you. It's there to damage your potential.
You said something interesting about how this fake news is, planted by ourselves in our own minds. And I would wonder, the reasoning behind all of that. I mean, you're saying very valid things and even in me, things are awakening. But I would wonder the reason for that, the paralyzing fear, because we've had experiences where our hands got burnt, our egos were bruised. Is it because of self-preservation? Is it because we want to protect ourselves that we then, prevent ourselves from trying altogether, which, ultimately doesn't result in a progressive self. But the thinking and the logic around all of it is just to protect yourself from getting hurt again, yes?
Yep. It's more about protection of the future rather than understanding of the present. So most of us tend to avoid embarrassing ourselves to ourselves.
Yeah.
Failing twice on the same project is worse, and that's why people never attempt to do it for the second time. So protection of self, and which is correct. You need to protect yourself, but you can't overprotect yourself to a point where you don't grow.
Yes.
You can't come to a point that says, no, I saw one car accident. From now on, I'm not going to get into any car. Oh, no, I saw a plane crash on TV. From now on, I'm not going to fly.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this. Yes, it is reality, what you're saying, but that should not hinder you or be a stumbling block towards your future. You have to learn from it. What caused the car accident? Maybe the driver was drunk.
Yeah.
Then avoid what the driver did rather than avoiding utilizing a car as a mode of transport.
Don't avoid life in general. So how do we redirect then, Bonke, this messaging that is in our head, this paralyzing state of mind that we are in? How do we start to correct that and start introducing a positive way of thinking? I mean, I remember reading somewhere someone saying that if I spoke to my friends the way in which I speak to myself, I probably wouldn't have any friends. so a lot of us are trapped in this prison of our minds that convinces us the worst things about ourselves. So how do we redirect that?
Number one, fear is normal.
Yeah.
Fear is normal. A lady by the name of Judy once said that each of us must confront our fears, must come face to face with them.
Yeah.
How we handle our fears will determine where we go with the rest of our lives. To experience adventure or to be limited by fear of it is going to destroy your potential or your future. So most of us, when we experience fear, we tend to assume that it means that we should not do it.
Yeah.
But fear is part and parcel of who you are. Fear simply means that I need to prepare for this thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes fear simply means that I've never done this.
This is new territory.
If ever you are a Bible scholar, you realize that when the angel Gabriel went to Mary and said, Mary, you're going to have a child, Mary said that, how can this be since I'm a virgin? If you go and double click on the word virgin, it simply means that how can it be because I've never done this before? So being a virgin simply means I've never done this before. And most of us are going to be virgins in a number of new projects that are going to reveal something that is already within us.
Yeah.
So because you have not done it before, because there's someone who has done it before, does not mean that you don't qualify to do it. And unfortunately for us, fear tends to block us, and we internalize it, and it becomes fake news.
Yeah.
We take the word fear, which my dad used to say that it stands for false evidence appearing real. We reconstruct it to define who we are, and that becomes fake news in our life.
Sure.
That is one. And then, on the same point, our guru, late guru, President Nelson Mandela once said that the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers the fear.
Yes.
Meaning that the brave man had fear, experienced fear, but at the end of the day,
he did it anyway.
Or she conquered it, did it anyway.
Yeah.
Number two, meditate on what you desire, not what you fear.
Yes.
Meditation simply means continuous thinking on. So what I'm trying to share is that continuously think on what you desire and not what you fear. Because whatever you meditate is planted in your mind and soul. As a man thinketh, that's who he's going to be at the end of the day.
Yes.
So most of us, whenever we're called to do public speaking, stand up in front of 200 people, instead of meditating on what we're going to say, we meditate on the fear. And that's a picture that we're planting or writing in our head. And when we go and stand up, what picture comes out? What we've been meditating on. And that is fear.
Yeah.
Last point. Champions are made when no one is watching. Jack Confield once said that through practice, gently and gradually, we can collect ourselves and learn how to be more fully with what we do. What I mean by champions are made when no one is watching, I'm simply saying practice makes perfect.
Yes. Yes.
So whatever you fear, Practice on it. That's the only way you can fight it. You can't go and fight it the day you stand up and speak in front of 200 people. You and the mirror, she will be one thing. She will be on the same WhatsApp group. Stand in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
Talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Critique yourself. Get your best friend to critique you. Stand up and practice until it becomes natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fake news will force you not to practice because you are even scared of practicing. And if you're scared of practicing, you've already lost the battle to fake news in your own life.
I love that. So you said your father said fear is what? Break that down again. I want everyone to actually hear and internalize this. What is fear again?
I'm going to charge you for this one. Fear, F-E-A-R, stands for false evidence appearing real.
Powerful.
False evidence appearing real. I mean, if you had to look back in your life, I mean, how old are you? 23. If you had to look back in the last 3 years, how many things did you fear that never materialized? 95 to 97% of things that you fear never, ever materialized.
Yeah.
Can you imagine spending time planting those things in your soul and mind? By the time you are 30, 40, that become part and parcel of who you are.
Yeah.
And that is fake news.
Yeah.
Stop waiting for someone to rescue you.
You must have patience and engage in consistent action.
Find the inspiration within yourself
Patience.
to rise above and be your own hero. Join Bonke Shipalana on The Power Within